Have you ever opened up a poker solver and just felt that sinking feeling? You're staring at this wall of numbers and you just don't know where to start. Well, if that's you, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to cut through all that noise and show you how to actually use these powerful tools to improve your game, not just give you a headache.
Yeah. Does this look familiar? It's that moment, right? You open the solver and bam, you're staring at something that looks like the Matrix. You've got charts, you've got colors, percentages. It's like a whole different language, and it's so easy to feel completely lost in translation.
And hey, if you felt that way, just take a deep breath. You are not alone. Seriously, you're in the vast majority. But here's the good news. The goal isn't to drown in all this data. It's to learn how to swim. And that is exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to show you a much, much simpler way forward.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's break down the actual problem. Why do so many players get so tangled up when they start using these things? Well, it really just boils down to a few super common traps.
Here are the big ones. First, trying to drink from a fire hose. You know, a solver can run millions of possibilities. You can't. If you try to absorb everything, you're going to learn nothing. Then there's mistaking precision for understanding. I mean, knowing a hand is a 32% call is totally useless if you don't know why. And the really big one, ignoring your actual opponents. GTO assumes they're playing perfectly too. But, spoiler alert, real humans are anything but. The goal is not to become a robot. It's to become a smarter, more adaptable player.
So this brings us to probably the most important question of all. What is the real goal here? Why are we even using a solver? It is not about memorization. It's about a massive shift in how you approach learning the game. And this is where things get really interesting.
And this slide just nails it. Think about it. On one hand, you have traditional poker, right? It's all about intuition, what feels right, what you read on a forum somewhere. But on the other hand, you have solver-driven poker. This gives you a mathematical framework. It's about finding the why behind the what, the actual logic behind plays that used to be just pure guesswork. And this whole thing is built on one core concept.
And that concept is GTO, or Game Theory Optimal. And please, don't let the name scare you. It's not some crazy magic formula. Just think of it as a framework, okay? It's a baseline strategy that makes you really tough to play against. It is your strategic anchor, the solid foundation you build everything else on.
All right, theory is great, but how do you actually put it into practice without, chaining yourself to your desk for hundreds of hours? The answer is a simple, effective study plan. So let's build one right now.
See, this isn't about studying harder. It's all about studying smarter. So here's the plan. First, pick one theme, just one, like playing turns after c-betting. Then, run a few small simulations on just a couple of keyboards. Number 3, take notes by hand. Trust me, this is huge for retention. Then, summarize those notes into simple, actionable rules. And finally, the most important part, get out there, apply it, and review it.
And as you're studying, you have to remember this. Poker is not a game of perfection. It's a game of avoiding the big, costly blunders. The absolute fastest way to improve is to find the gap between your gut instinct and the solver's logic. That's where the real learning is hiding.
Now, I love this slide because it shows you something most players totally miss. So you check, but the solver bets small. But look at that EV difference. It's tiny. It's almost nothing. By looking at these small gaps, you start to realize, whoa, not all mistakes are created equal. And this frees you up to stop sweating the small stuff and focus on fixing the major leaks in your game.
Okay, so now let's talk about the real world, because this is where the art of poker really meets the science. How do we take this perfect GTO theory and use it to absolutely crush real, flawed, human opponents?
The key is balance. It's all about balance. The solver gives you your GTO anchor, your solid foundation. But when you spot a weakness in your opponent, let's say they fold way too often to c-bets, you adjust. That is exploitative play. It's not about abandoning GTO. It's about using it as your base and then building a winning exploitative strategy right on top of it.
Here's a perfect example. You've got King-Jack of spades on an ace-high flop, plus you've got the flush draw. Now, the solver might say to mix it up, bet sometimes, check sometimes. But if you're up against a player who you know is a total scaredy cat on ace-high boards, well then you can just lean into betting way more often. That's not GTO, my friend. That's just smart, profitable poker.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It really all comes down to a new mindset, a new way to think about solvers, and frankly, a new way to think about your entire study process. Here it is. This is the secret sauce. Stop trying to memorize frequencies and percentages. Start looking for patterns. Things like, okay, I should bet more on dry boards where I have the advantage. You want to turn all that complex data into simple mental shortcuts. The goal here is to be a scientist when you study, but an artist when you play. Remember, solvers are just tools to help you think deeper, not to turn you into a poker robot.
And at the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to. This question right here says it all. Are you studying to be perfect, or are you playing to win? Because chasing robotic perfection, that's a fool's errand. But using these tools to understand the game on a deeper level, to plug your biggest leaks, and to exploit your opponents, that is how you become a winner.
Start a live chat now to join one of our clubs or ask us any questions. Message at bluffingmonkeys24_7 on Telegram or visit bluffingmonkeys.com and start a live chat.